is the DC Defender Show on United Football Media. We are in here for another week. The headphones are making my hair look funny. Don't pay attention to that. What's important is that we are, when you listen to this, just a week away. We'll be just 1 week away from United Football League football being back. DC Defender football being back on our screens. Rowdy Audi filling up again. I took a little gander at the ticket sales today of all the games. And Rowdy Audi so far is in the lead of all of the stadiums as far as how many tickets have been bought, how many tickets are still available. We still need more, guys. We got to pack this thing out. We're hosting the defending champions week 1, and that will be a very good litmus test for this new defense that we're about to talk about today. Returning starters to the defense. One of our commenters last week, he asked about, when's we're going to talk a little defense, and I said, we got you, brother, on the next one. So we're going to talk returning defensive players, overall outlook for the defense, because as we talked about in new defensive faces a couple of weeks ago right here, United Football Media, DC Defender Show, an influx, a ton of new faces coming into this defense, especially in the secondary, some in the front 7. But we've got for you 5 big-time pieces that are back. Very, very important ones. Guys, we are very, very pumped about. First and foremost, you can't kick off any type of talk about returning defensive starters to the DC Defenders without mentioning Anthony Hines. He leads the team in snaps. He played a lot of snaps, and he has by far, in a way, the most snaps. So he will be back. Veteran presence to break these other new faces into this system. Nobody knows the system better than Anthony Hines, by far the team's snap leader back there in camp, ready to rock. Well over dang near 500 snaps on defense last year for Anthony Hines. So he's back. He's the thumbnail, the most experienced salty dog we have, and he'll be breaking in those new faces, I'm sure, being a leader out there, teaching them how to get into this system. The thing that I wanted to lead off with that I am the most excited about is, we talked about on new faces, we talked about Quincy Roche coming in, big time sack numbers when he was in college, Temple, Miami. That's a new face who's going to make an impact. But on the squad, we have 2 guys who are one who's known as being one of the best pass rushers in the UFL, and one guy who's very underrated, who I think is going to be known by the end of this season because his numbers were right there behind the first guy. We got Malik Fisher and we got Derek Roberson coming back. Malik Fisher, well known among all of us the whole time he's been in the UFL. Great snap count, 364, 71 PFF, 78 PFF, pass rush grade, 7 sacks, 20 QB pressures, a monster year in and year out. One of the best pass rushers in the whole league. He is back with us, and he will be leading the charge again. Derek Roberson, slightly less known. He was up to 270 snap count. He had a 78 PFF score, an 81 pass rush grade, 6 sacks, 26 hurries. This guy was a monster in the snap counts that he was available. The time that he got on the field, he's going to get more time this year. If you add these 2 beasts in there with Quincy Roche, who was peeling off all those sacks in college, this could be right up there. This could be the best pass rush in the UFL. And this is how we get things rolling. You get that stadium full. You get those quarterbacks getting smashed into the ground. You get those quarterbacks second guessing themselves. Backside pressure when you strip the ball, get those turnovers. The lemons are flying through the air. The beer snake is building. Things are rocking. It's going to be a beautiful thing, breaking in one of those all-star quarterbacks. People, whoever they name the starter in Birmingham, is going to be second-guessing themselves because they're going to be getting smashed into the ground next Sunday. Tay, tell us a little bit about, these returning guys for the pass rush.
I think I agree with everything you said. I do think we'll have one of the best pass rushers in the league. I mean, they proved it last year. Need to get Roberson some more snaps, Malik Fisher. They should be out there pretty much the whole game. I mean, they did well last year, and I think that same defense. They'll come back and improve from last year. So you could be looking at the best pass rush in the league. Like I would say that not even like no bias. Like I mean, they proved it last year. If you just need more volume. Like, I think they'll be out there more than they were last year, and the numbers will show, So hopefully we can get a 10-sack season out of one of them. That'd be crazy, So very excited for Malik Fisher and the Roberson duo. Like, it's always good to have a good pass rush. It makes the corner's job easier, it makes the lineman, it makes everyone's job easier when you have a great pass rush. So I honestly think that's the most important on defense. To have a great pass rush. So that being said, if you were worried about the defender's defense, don't, because we're gonna have the best pass rush in the league this season. So.
You got these other teams. You got Big Peta up there in St. Louis. You got real good players over there in San Antonio for the Brahmas. But as far as a collective, a group, a rotation, I don't think you're doing much better than the defenders. And especially, with Tay was talking about these guys who can win one-on-one, who can win their matchups in this pressure-based Greg Williams system. That's going to be awesome because you're going to get a lot of one-on-one matchups for these guys. That's going to drive up their sack numbers. When you got sack specialists like Malik Fisher, like Derek Roberson, and like the newcomer to the group, Quincy Roche, could be big time. Real quick, another part of this, happy Football Friday to everybody. We record this a little bit in advance. Obviously, it's not live. So when you are watching this, it'll be cut day, the final roster cuts. So we apologize to any of the viewers in advance if somehow, some way, some of the guys we're covering right now are going to be cut or are no longer with the team when you watch this. It is what it is. Nature of the beast. It's how we go. That's what we get. You know, all the other shows, we get to send you into your weekend with Football Friday. So that's the place that we've been put. That's our lot in life. So we're going on cut day. It is what it is. Some of these guys might be cut. Apologize if some of this is not that current. That's why, we added an offensive lineman from the mighty Fishers Freight, the indoor football league in Fishers, Indiana, who might be a stud for us. We added like 4 receivers this week into the mix to see if somebody could break through and help fulfill those 40 catches, closer to 60 catches opened up by the leaving of Alex Ellis and Kelvin Harmon. But we're not going to go too deep into all of those additions because, again, who knows? Cut day is when you're going to be listening to this. And anyways, we're here for the defense. Damn it. Best pass rush in the league. Moving on, a guy who will be helping with the pass rush, but more in the linebacker enforcer role. One of the guys I think I'm the most excited about coming in, returning, Momo Sanogo, a guy who Momo is a short for Mohammed, a guy who only got to start at the end of the season. He finished off the last 5 games, so his snap count is a little bit lower, but the guy had an 80 total overall PFF score. Real good in both the pass rush and coverage. Great run defender, 82 PFF run grade, 78 pass rush grade, 68 coverage grade. Did a fantastic job in the time that he got at the end of the season. Really a leader, making big hits, making plays, got some sacks, got plenty of tackles, caused some turnovers. Momo Sanogo coming in with all of these new faces. I look forward to him to being a rising star, day one starter, one of the studs of this defense. Very, very excited to see his progression this year after a very hot end of the season, very high grades at the end of last season. Tay, what do you got on Momo Sanogo?
I think Momo Sanogo will be great with Anthony Hine, until you mentioned earlier. Having a versatile linebacker like Momo Sanogo could be great. He can blitz to the middle from the outside with the pass rush I was just talking about. And like you were saying, he's good in coverage, so he can pretty much do it all. So it's always good to have a versatile linebacker, that can just help the defense out in many ways, call audibles, things of that nature. So definitely excited for him to get more playing time this season too, because like you said, he didn't really start till half the season. So and he did good. So I don't see why not. I don't see why he shouldn't get more play time. So yeah, I think you should hear his name a lot when we're on defense. You should hear Mo Sanogo's name a whole lot.
He reminds me a lot of Alec Ogletree, one of the you're probably a little too young for that name there, Tay. Maybe not.
No. I know what it is.
He reminds me a lot of Alec Ogletree, who was a great linebacker in the Greg Williams system once upon a time for the Rams. He reminds me just like him. He's the perfect, profile of a Greg Williams system linebacker. So super excited to see him hopefully get the day one start and thrive in this defense. Love me some Momo Sanogo. Our top returning defensive back, DeAndre Baker, former first round NFL draft pick of the New York Giants, did a real good job last year for us. 350 snaps, a 70 overall grade, 72 coverage grade. Really did a great job out there. Was named all UFL. Can't ask for more than that. One of the better corners in the league, one of the better corners for us, will definitely be our top returning corner. Happy to see DeAndre Baker back in the building. Anytime you can field a first round draft pick in the NFL and a guy who was all UFL, you can't be mad about it. Getting a 71 coverage grade in a Greg Williams defense where you're constantly out there on an island is tremendous work. We are blessed to have DeAndre Baker back leading the way in the secondary. Talk to me a little bit about DeAndre Baker.
DeAndre Baker was really good. I'm glad he's back. I'm sure every team would want DeAndre Baker on their team. Like you said, he had a 71 PFF grade. So, and defense is tough on corners. But again, like I said about the pass rush, it should be easier this year. Because that'll just help out the corners and safeties and all that. So. Yeah, I really do like DeAndre Baker. He gave up only one touchdown last year in 10 games. I say that's great. So
yeah, especially like I said, it's such a pressure defense. They're always setting blitzes. You're out there on an island to only give up one touchdown on an island, usually in man coverage with this heavy blitz scheme. That is crazy. That's why the man got all UFL.
Right. Exactly. So expect to see that again. I do think he can improve from last year, like I still see some growth in a lot of our guys. So yeah, I think DeAndre Baker can be one of the best corners. I really do believe in this defense. This is a scary defense the more we're talking about it.
Yes, sir. So one guy, when we talked about new faces on the defense, we talked a lot about the secondary, we talked a lot about the safeties, and we talked about the new additions, as if who are these guys? These guys are going to fill in. These guys are going to need to step up. These guys, we really dug into their profiles and who they were and how they played. Well, there's one guy. Oh, there's a few guys. I don't want to disrespect anybody, but there's one guy in particular who might have something to say about those spots being taken up by new faces, and that is safety Monte Nicholson, a former top 100 draft pick of the Washington Commanders. So Tay is very familiar. That's his NFL team. He played very well for us last year in the snaps that he got, 231 snaps. Got a 72 PFF grade, 74 in coverage. Was nice and active for a safety. 20 tackles. Was kind of all over the field. Like I said, real good grading out. Monte Nicholson, he has the pedigree. He was drafted fairly high, performed well in the NFL, and performed well for us last year. That might be a safety spot that we don't need to worry about getting filled in by one of these new faces that came around, the Taylor Hawkinsons of the world. Tell us about some Monte Nicholson, former Washington Commander, and played damn well for the Commanders last year.
Monte Nicholson is going to be a key piece for the defense. I think he could be one of the best players in the defense. He only got targeted 4 times, so not too many targets, but he had 2 interceptions and a pick 6. So that's good to see, someone that goes up and gets the ball on defense, have a threat.
Yeah, if you're not getting targeted that much and you still manage to get 2 interceptions, that's insane.
Yeah, so I think he'll definitely be pretty good. I hope he gets as many snaps as possible. Like, it's always great to have your best players out there. And I don't think we don't need safety. Not with Monte Nicholson. Monte Nicholson is pretty good. Like I put all my faith in Monte Nicholson out there as safety. So
and
hopefully
I
you get
hope
another
you're.
pick six.
I'm with you with the snaps because the continuity. There's a lot of new faces coming in. A lot of our top snap count guys went out the door, dearly departed. Defenders forever, Michael Joseph, TJ Barnes. Love you guys. So the more continuity we can get out there, the better, especially from a guy who performed, did all the things that Monte Nicholson did. This defense, man. This anything else? Final Tay's takes before we get on out of here and kind of preview next week.
I just about the defense. Defense will be like, if not the best, second best. Like I really do like this defense just from pass
in the whole league.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Got the best pass rush. Like I think that's a lock. I am fully believing in the pass rush, and then we just have like great players at every position. Like I'm not worried about any position. Like I don't think there's many holes in the defense. Like everything was fixed in the offseason, with the returning players and new players, everything was fixed. So I think the defenders are going to be a great team. People are sleeping on us, but I wouldn't sleep on the defenders, not this year.
And we'll get, this defense, we're going to get to see how well they've gelled. We're going to see how well they've gotten it together because week 1 is the defending champs. The man who, these USFL guys out here, they'll tell you that you should speak Alex Magoo's name in hushed tones. Don't even speak it out loud because it's disrespectful to that man. Well, whoever ends up being the starter for Birmingham, I could see them getting heavily disrespected in this first game, and that's what we will be looking for out there in Rowdy Audi. And that's a little preview. Next week's show, finally, thank the Lord, is going to be game preview for week 1 against the Birmingham Stallions. We are bringing them on into Rowdy Audi. Start off a pleasant title defense for the Birmingham Stallions. Hopefully not. We can't wait to see you. And we will see you guys next week. Once again, down there in the comments, anything that you want covered, want us to dig into, please just ask. We read them, we interact, and we will jump into whatever you guys want us to jump into. This show is for the people, by the people. It is the DC Defenders Show on United Football Media.